Hello and welcome back to One Day You Get 5 MA for AP Precalculus. This is episode 50, and today I have a problem for you from Unit 1. Alright, so we have a function f of x, which is 2 times the square root of x minus 1 plus 3. And it goes through a series of transformations. So first it gets translated 2 units up, gets reflected over the x-axis, and then it gets horizontally shrunk by a factor of 1/3. And we want to find the equation for what that will look like after all those transformations, right? So give the problem a try, and then you can check back and see the solution. Okay. So I'm going to list out all the transformations in order. First, we're going to have translation up 2 units. So that's going to be our f of x goes to f of x plus 2. Okay. Okay, so then we have f of x plus 2. Then we reflect it over the x-axis. That's going to make everything negative. So it's going to be, negative f of x minus 2. So we're making everything negative. And then finally, horizontal shrink by a factor of 1/3. Now, it's kind of backwards from what you'd think. But instead of replacing x with 1/3, because it has to be, it's horizontal, so it's going to be on the inside. But instead of replacing x with 1/3, we're going to do a reciprocal. So 1 over 1/3 equal 3. Replacing x with 3x. So this is going to go from negative f of x minus 2 to negative f of 3x minus 2. Okay. So you obviously don't have to do this. And, on a test you probably shouldn't because you might not have enough time, especially on the AP test. But basically, I think just going in order for each of them, even if you don't do it with like f of x, if you just do it with the original function, I think it's helpful to go step by step. So first, what we're going to get is we're going to go up 2, right? So that's just going to add 2 to it. So we're going to get 5. Then, make everything negative because of reflection over the x-axis. So negative 2 square root x minus 1 plus 5. Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry. Minus 5. That's an easy mistake to make. So you gotta make the whole thing negative. And finally, a horizontal shrink by a factor of 1/3. This just means, whenever you see horizontal, this just means, whenever you see a horizontal dilation, that just means whatever x is, you're replacing x with some constant times x, right? It's actually going to be the reciprocal, 1 over your factor times x. So if it's getting horizontally dilated by a factor of 2, you're going to replace it with, by a factor of 2, you're going to replace it with 1/2 x. So x goes to 1/2 x. That's how I like to think about it. So here, our x is going to, from x to 3x. So if you just replace our x, we're going to get negative 2 square root of 3x minus 1 minus 5. How about there we go. Alright, that is the final solution. I hope that you found the video helpful, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day.